My name is Lura Ketchledge, and today we're going to review some evidence taken in my home last March. And we are lucky to have Dan and Marcy Blau here today. And they are with the Daytona Beach Paranormal Investigators.
Hi, I'm Marcy Blau.
Well, why don't we start out telling everyone about this picture?
This picture is very exciting because if you will look at it, you will see energy in this room, a explosion of energy. In other words, it's covering you and your face and you, and it's also coming around this arm of one of our investigators, and it is just exploding into the room.
It really looks like it's darting from the ceiling.
It's darting from everywhere. This was an unusual capture. I've never seen this much energy at one time.
Well, Marcy, can you tell us about your history with the paranormal investigating? How long have you been doing this?
Oh, it's almost 10 years. We've been doing it about 10 years, and we started in Scottsdale, and now we're in Daytona Beach since we moved here. And I have done a lot of investigations of both famous haunted places and a lot of private homes.
How does my home compare?
Okay, well, I'm glad you brought that up because honestly, I have never seen more paranormal activity in a location before, and that includes all of the other places I've investigated at one time, than I have in your home.
Okay. Marcy, can you tell us a little bit about this picture and your impressions?
Yes, that was a burst of light energy again coming into the room.
Mm-hmm.
I just caught that one because it was coming very close to you, and many of them do go so close to you that they look like they're going perhaps in you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's fine. Oh my goodness, now this was taken in my bedroom, and do you have any ideas of what this is?
Yes, I believe this is the light anomaly that in a video later actually moves our camera.
Okay.
That is very unusual, but you see the intensity of the energy? That's a very high intensity light right there.
That's very bright.
Very bright.
It's very bright.
And
yeah.
I would have to guess then that there's a correlation between brightness and power or force.
Yes. Okay. Marcy, what are your thoughts about this still shot?
Well, when I can catch a light anomaly and I can freeze it and then I can blow it up or make it many times bigger,
Mm-hmm.
you'll sometimes see just interesting textures and patterns with it. I do find it fascinating. I am looking at possibly a form of a spirit right there.
Right, right. Okay, now we've got some footage here taken in my bedroom during the investigation. Can you play it?
Yes, let me play that.
Cool. What are we looking for?
Well, I think you'll see it, but you're going to see a small light anomaly actually come out of my husband's body.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that traveling, darting light. Yes. Okay. It's long been my hypothesis that people like myself that had near-death experience and returned bring something back with them. So, can you play this?
Yes.
Now, what are we looking for here, Marcy?
You're looking for the quality that makes these light anomalies seem intelligent. And one of those qualities is that they're able to turn and navigate.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's really something.
It is.
Okay. We're just going to see this video in a second, and this one had a physical presence. Can you tell me about it?
Yes, light anomalies are interesting to look at, but they don't have power behind them to actually move anything.
Right.
But watch this one.
Okay. See the darting light. And then I think right there you see it again, and then another one. Wow.
So,
And it actually moved the camera. Okay. find this one of the more interesting because of the shape. See something going into it. Now look what's coming out.
Isn't that interesting? And it just looks so unusual.
That's a trip, okay?
The reason that this video is important is because we're communicating using a K2 meter that's sitting there on the sofa. And the lights are going off.
Uh-huh.
Now, if you can capture light anomalies by that thing, then you have a double, you have a backup to what's going on.
Confirmation.
That's right. So you're going to want to look at the left, to the left.
To the left of the screen.
Uh-huh. And we just got an answer, and that's our reaction, and then do you see the light?
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's really good backup. It shows you that there.
This is a short clip, but you can see the orb activity.
Yeah, it's just coming at you, and it comes so close, so watch this.
All right. I see one. There's another. That's quite a few.
All at one time, yeah.
This particular clip blew my mind. I think it really says a lot.
Let's watch it.
I'm just sitting in the living room talking to you guys. Wow.
Wow.
I know. Okay.
Let me explain what's going on here in this clip.
Uh-huh.
One of our investigators, Ruth, she has headphones on because she's listening through a spirit box. And she's listening for any answers coming through that spirit box, while at the same time, you are asking questions. She cannot hear your questions, but she's trying to see if she's hearing answers, and then she would relay that to us. So let's watch this clip.
Oh my goodness. That's quite a lot of orb activity.
Absolutely, and that's again showing that when communication is taking place, like it is right now,
It increases.
you have the evidence both auditorily and visually
My goodness.
that they are reaching out.
I don't think anything about this is negative. Actually, it's kind of comforting and unique. But I don't think that there was anything negative going on in this house. Do you?
There is another reason this investigation was so unusual. Okay, we are usually called to do an investigation because there's negative consequences to what is happening in the home. The whole evening, we all felt very positively charged, like we had a lot of positive energy.
Good. Now, Marcy, this is a living room again, and this is a still shot. What did you put the pen next to, and can you explain what it is?
Yes, that's another one, oddly shaped light anomaly, called sometimes a ribbon. I call them a tube or a ribbon. And it was fast. I had to stop it, and I just wanted, because it was going at a different angle, it's not as large as the other one we saw, and I wanted to make sure that we caught that there are more than those than just the one we saw in your bedroom.
Yes, so there'd be multiple ones. There's in the
Yes.
bedroom and the living room.
We caught several in the living room.
Yeah, in this very short investigation.
Absolutely.
Cool. So what are you doing and what are you using in the living room here in this shot?
So in this shot, I am using the K2 meter, which has lights on the top that will go on and off, and you can usually do yes/no questions with this device.
Okay.
And so what you're looking for is, while I'm doing that, are there any energies around me?
Okay, let's see. Oh boy, see that? Yeah. Wow. Two at once. Another one.
It's very interesting because they could be the ones that are answering.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Not one of my most flattering pictures, Standing by the dining room table. Let's look.
Okay.
I look like a linebacker.
Well, it's better than wearing white pants, but mine were black at the time.
There's one that goes right by me. Whoa! Wow.
And back over to me.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that interesting?
Okay. Now we're just going to let this run for a little bit, and you can see the different orb activity around me. There's one that comes in right there. I'm oblivious to it. And there's going to be a little bit more. So, Marcy, what's your viewpoint on this?
Well, what I find interesting is the orbs throughout the evening, they get awfully close to you, and some of them look like they actually go into you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just showing me that they have a connection with you.
Right.
Now,
and
they're in rooms where you're not. I mean,
Yes.
they're in rooms where you're not,
but it's still my home.
but you're so close with some of them. They come very close to you. Not a lot of people interact with them that much.
Well, there's so many. So if each orb is an individual soul, then there's a whole team of them, a whole group of them that is visiting me.
It would appear that way.
And you think about it, I've lived here 2 years, and this is only 2.5 hours out of that 2 years.
I mean, you never have to wait very long before you're going to see them pop up.
Right.
And, you know, there's places where you won't see one in 45 minutes.
Yes. So I don't know how it works, but I'm very, very intrigued by this and the wonderful job your team did.
Oh,
So I want to thank you so much.
Thank you. We just really enjoyed this investigation.
And I had no sensation when these orbs came by, except I got, during the investigation, I got tremendously thirsty.
That's interesting because a lot of them really do get close to you and interact,
Right.
right with you. In fact,
Right.
like I said, almost go into you.
Is that the end?
It looks like this for
Thank
a little
you.
while. Thank you.
The stationary camera is recording this while your husband is over in the corner facing the bed. Can you play this for us?
Yes, this is taken from the security footage.
See, yeah, there's some activity there by the table. Whoa.
Did you see the
Yeah,
picture?
so two different
I
parts of the room. Let's watch that again.
Okay.
I find that interesting because, it is multiple.
There's so many places to look, but I'm
Yeah.
drawn to this area right
Yeah, and
here.
then right in there. Wow. Whoa,
There's
look at
so
that.
much going on.
Oh, wow.
So much going on at the same time.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Tell me about this clip.
All right, so we're going to watch the clip again where that strange tube forms on the floor.
The ribbon tube.
Right, and
Okay.
we just kind of cut it off after it rose, but if you let it go a little bit longer, you're going to see another flurry of activity, which,
All right, and
I
nobody's
wonder-
in this room.
no, and I wonder if it has anything to do with that. I don't
The
know.
security camera caught this, and there was nobody in the room. We were all in the living room. See see that. All right. Which is weird. Oh, I can see these. Oh,
Then there just seems to be a little
Yeah.
flurry of activity, and whether that's tied in with that or not, I do not know.
I don't know if there's a connection. That's quite a bit. Thank you.
Yeah.
Here we go with a close-up of the last video. I think it gives you a better visualization. Yeah, it's like coming through the floor. Wow. Here, my views about near-death experiencers, bringing something back with them when they come back to physical reality in life.
I do now. I do, because I saw more energy in your residence than I've seen on any other investigation. There's always those light anomalies are everywhere. But there's more here.
Well, I told you, I'm not a medium. I'm just an average middle-class gal who took her experiences and became an author. But since this is following me from house to house, home to home, year after year, what are your thoughts on that?
I would have to say that I've always heard there's a connection between a near-death experience and more activity, paranormal activity. And I would have to concur with that on what we've seen. There doesn't seem to be anything negative in this activity, but there's a flurry of it. And
Right.
also the communication that you received that was spot on target with some of the questions that you were answering or the situations you're going on.
Yes.
There was a lot of really intelligent communication going on there.
I felt that there was kind of a dialogue because, we brought in a psychic, and I'm always the biggest skeptic out there about a psychic. But what was that box? Was it a ghost box that we were getting those answers from?
There is two devices. There's an app on the phone that will take the language that it's picking up and turn it
Right.
into words, and we had that work that night.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a puck. They call it a puck, only it's on your phone. And we had a spirit box. A spirit box just scans through the radio waves.
Right.
And when voices come through that are not radio chatter, then that's communication.
Well, we got clear, audible voices saying, not all at once, but random through that hour, immune, chemo, and what was the other word?
There was treatments, I know, came up.
Yes, treatments.
I know immune came up, chemo, and
Well, I have autoimmune disease, and I take a targeted chemo for it. So I thought that was really very spot on, because those are two unusual words, but only would apply to me, the only person in the home.
well, and I also remember when I had the headphones on,
Mm-hmm.
and you were apparently asking about what you should do about some kind of a new trial or a new study you were looking at later.
Yeah.
That's what I learned it was. I remember hearing no, keep treatment or something. I remember the words
Right.
coming through that was basically no, keep doing what you're doing. And that's what kind of
Okay.
came through.
Well, I actually got turned down from the German study for a stem cell transplant. So,
Wow.
I'm keeping with the medication that I'm on, and I can live a good life, not a perfect life, but who has a perfect life? So, I find it personally kind of comforting, because I don't think there's anything negative going on. I think it could be my own little cheerleading team on the other side giving me support, or at least something non-threatening.
Well, I would agree. I mean, look at all the energy that was in your home.
Yes.
And none of us felt ill effects of it. Oftentimes, if there's negative energy, you're going to feel it physically. You're going to be drained, or you're going to have an upset stomach, or not be able to breathe, or actually not even be able to talk sometimes. There was nothing like that. In fact, I believe we left your home more energized than when we came in.
Well, it's really strange, but sometimes when these things happen, I get very, very thirsty, an unquenchable thirst where I drink, 2 to 3 glasses of water. I don't know why. That's interesting. But, I've been on reality shows. I've taken other evidence from places that I've lived. I was just kind of expecting to have a nice, quiet little retirement here in my hometown of Ormond Beach, getting a little condo. But after I moved in, I found out that the poor woman that lived here prior had passed away in this, I believe, in the living room, which is quite sad. I don't know if that has a connection, but,
A lot
it
of
could.
times it does seem to be a connection between a passing and activity. But again, in almost 10 years of investigating, there was more light energy in this, intelligent light energy in this investigation than I have seen in those other investigations.
Well, sticking to this subject and this intensity, I've always wondered, when these spirits are coming to you, is there a message that I'm not perceiving? What is your thought on that?
Well, I certainly think you got some messages that night, and
Yeah,
I know
got some answers.
I know it's frustrating because you want just to be able to pick up or hear a complete paragraph telling you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't happen. And
Yeah.
I do feel, though, that we all witnessed you definitely getting some messages.
Well, also these balls of light, these orbs or whatever you want to call them happened when I was in the room. And then when I went to another room, the cameras kind of lit up. So I'm special in that after school kind of special way. That's about it. Marcy, do you think that with a person that's had a near-death experience that they're more protected when they come back for some reason?
Well, that's a lovely thought. That would be really amazing. And maybe it's because when they were on the other side, they connected with family or whatever it
Loved
is they
ones.
connected with,
Yeah.
loved ones. And perhaps they do maintain that connection. I mean, this is all conjecture, but it certainly is fascinating to think of and form hypotheses when you see so much activity.
Yes, we're talking about things that we saw, multiple people saw on camera. It's my theory, as I've said several times, that paranormal activity surrounds you when you come back. But I want to just say to anyone that's watching this, from having a near-death experience, it's wonderful to know that there is a continuation of existence after physical death. It is lovely and comforting and just glorious to know that the loved one that you lost is waiting for you to finish your life, and you can be rejoined. And death really, no one really dies. We continue the non-physical reality. I don't know what the rules of the road are. I've only had a glimpse into the afterlife. So having that glimpse has given me tremendous confidence to do this. Normally, I didn't talk about my near-death experience for 30 years because I didn't want to be labeled as a wackadoo. But as we age, which is nice, we get a little less embarrassed and a little bit more forthright, because I'm 63. I don't have that many years ahead. Most of them are behind. So I'm going to make the most of it and come clear, tell my truth, and try to investigate other people with near-death experiences and see what the after effects have been for them.
Fascinating.
Well, it's been wonderful for you to come and to do this and to take your time, and for your lovely husband to take his time, and Ruth. And I think we really accomplished a lot because with these pictures, with this video evidence, I think it could give somebody a glimpse of what's really going on. And thank you so much.
Well, we have to thank you for the opportunity of being able to be here and see this kind of evidence.
Well,
We thank you.
I've had a great time. Thank you so much.
We have to.